Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Timmy Abel and I am your host on this show today. And I'm going to be talking about the Trump Hills Real Estate Phase 2. Now, in the last few years, we have had to really experience a whole lot of ups and downs based on the fact that we were totally ignorant of this very sector of the economy. And not just ignorant in the sense that of actually piloting the affairs of this sector of our business, but the fact that we didn't really have a good understanding of the human relationship as a borders and this part of the business. So we decided that this time around we're going to be coming with an entirely different approach to it. But what is most important is that dream that we've always had as a borders, how we can actually help the ordinary man build his or our own dream house. Now, for the last 8 years, we have been talking about that. I'm sure you probably must have listened to me on radio, on or other media platforms, talk about this particular story where I narrated how um, my own father retired from the military service, and at the end of the day, we had nowhere to stay or had to go to the village. It took the grace of God to actually get us back again into the city, and at some point, we almost had the house dilapidated on us. In fact, it's a long story, bro. I want to say that these are some of the actual painstaking things as I grew up, as I grew older, that I thought and I said, no, with a country like ours, people should have a cheaper way of actually acquiring their own properties. We know, of course, that when you come into cities, when you come into towns, capitals of our various home states, you hear people tell you, oh, it's not easy to actually build. But what I've come to realize is it is not about the building, it's about acquiring the land. Because a lot of times the land is even more expensive than the cost of building a good home on it. And that is one area we're also focusing on. When we are looking at the angles as well as acquiring land, we're saying, oh, you can actually live in Abuja here and still have the same life that those who live in Asokoro, Warimpa, or Wuse 2 have by acquiring a property cheaper than what some people even pay for rents in those locations. So you can build a house with that same amount of money you're going to use in renting in those locations. Build a house for yourself, stay there, have a lovely family, and live the life that you want to live with those people in those centers or in those locations or prime locations. Now, I don't want to call those areas prime locations anymore because the truth is, development as it continues to come, every area that is actually developing remains the prime location because that's where people are really interested in going. A friend would say, if you want to actually know the rich guys on the block, go to new locations of real estate, and that's where you see them. Now, I haven't talked about my past experience, how we have been able to find our way through by the help of God to where we are today. I want to announce to you that we want to declare for just 20 people each a powerful product and a discount of 50%. That's the actual cost of the land is 50 is a certain amount, but we're giving you 50% of that land. That's exactly what we want to do now. And we're opening this opportunity to you for the next 30 days. The reason is simple. We are trying to do a partnership with the Federal Mortgage Bank at the moment, and we have been given some certain criteria to actually seal this deal, which comes down to actually the Federal Mortgage Bank financing the cost of building a befitting house for you. Now, for them to do that, they need us to put some things in place. And we, at the moment, are rolling that through. In the next few days, you'll be seeing designs and structures of our properties on that line. Now, having talked about it, we need to present a batch, a number of people that can kickstart this project with us in partnership with the Federal Mortgage Bank. And that's why we are saying, rather than sell the plots of land at the actual cost, let's give a 50% discount because we have over 200 plots in that phase 2 location. That's over 200 occupants at the end of the day. So but we're taking only 20 from each of these units or designs. That's a 2-bedroom fully detached bungalow. You can see the picture on our screen. We're talking about a 3-bedroom fully detached bungalow. The design is also here on our screen. And we're talking about a 4-bedroom duplex with a BQ. It's also here on our screen. Now, we are giving 50% discount to you for the next 30 days as soon as this video is released. So you can start counting. While this is important, we want to also address some major things that people usually ask us questions about. Our team, what's your pricing like, and why would you convince me that this property is actually of the standard you are charging us to pay for? And I tell them it's very simple. Our pricing continues to remain one of the lowest, even if you get to this location that I'm talking about, the Karshi Abuja location. Now, I call it the Karshi Abuja location because it's just a major road that separates Karshi Abuja and Karshi Nasarawa. So it's more like in the city, and it's actually a massive. It's such that when you look at how people buy properties, a lot of times they end up buying a property that is not in an organized environment, and as such, they will have to be drawn back to the same location, either by the government or by the environment, to say, okay, let's cut down on some spaces you have acquired. No, we are not doing that. We're giving you a well-planned estate that has the approval of the state development control, and we're saying that you do not have to pay any other thing apart from building your house. We are going to do your designs for you. We're going to do your architectural designs, of course, and building plans for you. We're going to come with your survey plans. We're going to help you identify the specific beacons that takes care of your own plot. All you've got to do is to raise your blocks as soon as you make your payment. How is that price compared to what I've mentioned? And I'm sure you would agree with me that if you compare it to what you buy on the outside, it's ridiculously too cheap. Now, I said this because our 2-bedroom bungalow plot of land, instead of going for 1 million, we're selling it for 500,000. That's a 50% discount. 3-bedroom bungalow fully detached, instead of going for 1.6, right? 1.6 million, we're giving it for just 800,000. And for the 4-bedroom duplex, instead of going for 1.9 million, we have not even done in fact, this is far less than the 50%, and we're giving it to you at 920,000. That's it. Now, it's up to you to say, okay, I want to pay and take ownership of this plot right now, and you get it done. If you have the resources to start building right immediately, you can start as well. Because all the other arrangements have been done by us to ensure that nobody comes to embarrass you, nobody comes to destroy your property, because of course that's one of the greatest fears of most people when they get into buying properties. And we're saying with all of this, the 50% discount price paid instantly is what takes care of it. Imagine. Now don't start salivating yet, because there is even more to come that will shock you. Have I told you about, in clear terms, that you are not going to build your house? The person who is going to build your house is champions and federal government. Now, not just federal government, there is a unit, of course, in the federal government sector. That's the Federal Mortgage Bank. This has been on for years, but as we speak, it's been fine-tuned to suit for those who have the NHF contributions. If you do not have your NHF contributions yet, you can as well open it. So it is not limited to only salary earners, including businessmen. As far as you own the Nigerian passport, you are qualified to have this grace. You are qualified to benefit from this very lovely project that's ongoing with the Nigerian populace by this present government. And we're saying that rather than just sit there and waste your whole time, because one of the greatest problems we have as a people is doubts. We are not saying come and just take this property and start building. No, we're saying go and make your verifications first and confirm that what you are going into is actually real and genuine. If you watched my videos in the past, I've talked about that many times without numbers, and I've said for you to get involved in the real estate business, ensure that you always do the genuine things. And for you to buy from real estate sellers, also do the right things by conducting a proper search. And that's why we're saying before we can even give you our account details to make a payment into it, we will ask you to come to the office, pick our documents, go to the Nasarawa State Geographical Information System. Their office is just by Maraba here, and run a search to confirm the genuinity of this property. Secondly, you will go to to the Development Control (CAPDA) for Nasarawa State Building Department, and also run a confirmation test or a confirmation search that we are authorized to commence building of properties on this location. Once that is done, you can come and make a payment. Now, you can get a lawyer to do that for you. You can also do that yourself if you do not want to indulge the services of a lawyer. But I've always encouraged people to always indulge the services of lawyers, because that's exactly why they exist in this environment. Now, having talked about it, let's look at some very major attractive things that can actually encourage you to see why you need to take this advantage. First is the fact that this location is one of the most, in fact, it's the most, I think we should agree with it. It's the most developed satellite towns within the Abuja metropolis. I'm talking about Gwagwalada, Kuje, Garki, not Garki, Kubwa, Nyanya, Maraba. Karshi has is one of the most developed, in fact, the most developed satellite towns within Abuja. Why? Because it's got almost every infrastructural facilities up to 99% fits. When I'm talking about that, I'm talking about all the infrastructural facilities you'll be thinking about. They have government presence, like the in health, they have the general hospitals, which of course a lot of people have said is one of the most effective and efficient general hospital here in Abuja. They have schools, because you may have heard about Loyola Jesuit, which is along that path. Apart from that, they have the federal government secondary school, and there are private schools, institutions here and there. The roads are super tight. It's one of the loveliest environments, serene environment you want to live in. The light is almost like 24 hours in a day. It's consistent. It's been consistent for the last 6 years since I've known them. And not just that, the presence of security outfits like the Nigerian Navy estate is just by it. We have the police stations. We have the Nigerian police force training ground. We have a whole lot of other government presence or agencies in this very location. And guess what? The road that links it from Karshi to Apo, we have been talking about this for the last 6 years. It's actually about 75 to 80% completion. Yes, I'll tell you this. Even when this new FCT minister came in, that was one of his first priorities. But you wouldn't understand what plays behind the scene. He went there, visited there, and promised that he was going to resolve this issue within the next few months. Unfortunately, up till this moment, we haven't heard anything about it. Though yesterday someone confirmed to me that they have moved back to the site and they're working on a moment. Let's hope that before the end of the year or middle of next year, this will have been completed. We don't know. We can't say anything much about that, but I can assure you that that is the gold mine. The moment that road is put through, it means you have less than 15 minutes to drive from there to Apo city center, to Garki, to Wuse, and whatever. That's on its own. Now, on the other hand, the road that almost everybody uses today is the third route from Karshi to Nyanya or Karo, whichever. Now, if you're going into town, you can take that road, and it's tarred all through. It's better than any other road from AYA roundabout to Kefi. I can confirm that the road from Karshi to Karo, Nyanya, is far better. You can try that. Take a drive. But that's by the side. What I'm trying to relate to you here is that between Karshi and the city center, it takes you at least 25 minutes. The only challenge you may have is the current traffic that's as a result of the people coming from the Kefi axis, Nyanya, Maraba axis, meeting at Karo and proceeding to AYA. Now, what the challenge would be for anyone who is at this point going through this route from this axis would only be between Karshi and AYA, Karo and AYA, which is about, I think less than 5 minutes drive. But the traffic definitely will keep you longer than that. Of course, some days. But I also know that if you have been patrolling or patronizing this very road in recent times, I'm sure you would have noticed the dual lane the government is actually creating now to match up with what is happening for the Kubwa residents. Remember, a few years ago, those in Kubwa also had this very tedious challenge. But today, because of the dual lane or the expansion of the dual lanes, today they are enjoying a peaceful ride home and away from their office or to and through their office. That is exactly what is ongoing right now. The federal government has embarked on this project, and we are hoping that in no time this will be resolved. So that puts behind the fear of having traffic. But listen to me. What if you have to think about the future? Not that job that is actually putting you in traffic every day. What if you have to think about leaving your job and living your normal life, where you don't have to wake too early to run into the traffic and all of that. What if you decided, okay, I would employ people. That's if you have a business in town. What if you decided I would employ people to handle the morning sessions while I resume at a time convenient for me? Think about it. These are obviously options that can keep your life better. Now, what that means is you're saving a whole lot of money to have a house in a place that a lot of people are going to be running after in the next few years, and you're paying less to have it built for yourself, and you're saving so much to take care of other important things. What would you do? I am presenting to you this wonderful and most important promo of your lifetime. 50% for you to take ownership of a plot in our estate today. Have a beautiful evening. Now, to reach out to us, contact the numbers on the screen, and we'll be right here to respond to you. Thank you, and God bless you. My name remains Tina.